Where were your children during these 6.5 years? And could you please briefly describe your first meeting with your children, what that was like for them and you?
Well, my children were growing without a mom. Lorenzo was 13, Melanie was 16. When I came back, Melanie was 23 and Lorenzo was 19. When I saw them, well, you see, I had been dreaming about them for 6 years. Every year, when it was their birthday, I had to make a pause and just think of how they would have become, what kind of person they were, how physically they could have become. And I would say Melanie probably is looking more like my mom, or Lorenzo probably is looking more like his father, or, you know, it was like trying to guess. And in my dreams, they were marvelous. That I need that image to fantasize about something good, you know, thinking that they were incredible human beings and that they had turned into beautiful adults. But when I saw them, they were much better.
Beautiful.
I am so proud of those soldiers because I 100% prefer them to wear that cross than to wear weapons. They did an incredible job. They protected our lives. If they had come with rifles, we all had been killed. But because they did that, and even it's, okay, we can criticize whatever, but they saved lives. And isn't the Red Cross for that, for saving lives?
And just tell us when did you realize who they were? On the helicopter?
Yeah, in the helicopter, it was incredible because...
They break it to you.
Look, I'm going to tell you something that I have been thinking. During all those years, we were, obeying these guerrillas because of fear, you know. We couldn't do anything, we had to obey. And then comes this helicopter. And those guys come out of the helicopter. And we're convinced that those guys are working for the FARC. And when we just thought, okay, they're going to change us to another camp in helicopters, this is going to be for 10 years more. And nobody wanted to go into that helicopter. And we did what we never did. I remember my companions in the floor giving kicks and shouting and saying, no, no, I don't want to go there. And then we were forced to go into the helicopter with the rifles behind us. And once the helicopter took altitude, and something very incredible happened because the two commanders that were with us came into the helicopter with us. And I saw that this team of people that were arriving in the helicopter, that I suppose were the friends of the FARC, began punching them and neutralizing them, and then they were in the floor handcuffed. I couldn't understand what was happening, you know? And then I thought, my God, that's not right. Something's going wrong here. And then one of the guys, the leader of the team, shouted, "We are the Colombian army. You are free." Wow, I can tell you it was very difficult to understand. It was like a shock. And we were, of course, we were happy, but it was more than happiness. It was a shock. It was a burst of adrenaline. And I remember I began screaming with a scream I couldn't hold. And I thought to myself while I was screaming, "You're becoming crazy, Ingrid. Please control yourself. You're going to, you know." And then I look around, and everybody was doing the same thing. Everybody was becoming crazy, and they were jumping and crying. And I thought, we're going to crash. We're going to crash. This is too good to be true. We're going to crash. And that flight that took like 5 minutes, it was eternal for me because I was so scared. I was so convinced that it was too good. That was it. I mean, those were armed guys. We had no escort. I had no bodyguards. I had nothing. So they told us to take a deviation to a dirt road, and that's what we did. And well, it was a very difficult situation. At that moment, one of the guerrillas, because the commander just told everybody to reunite because they were taking us somewhere, and one of the guerrillas stepped on a mine that they had buried in the ground, and he blew his leg. And so it was a very difficult moment for all of us because, I mean, it was a bloody mess, really. The guy, I remember, he jumped in the air, he landed, his boot was somewhere over there, and he tried to grab the boot, not understanding what it was, and then when he saw that his feet was inside the boot, he understood that he had no leg, and he began screaming in terror. It is still a difficult moment,